let me... Okay, I got the recording going. So I kind of already started, as you can tell. I kind of already started. So my sketch ideas are not really extremely great because I was trying to think, I'm like, what do non-binary people like? Wi-Fi is chugging a... Yeah, it is. Hold on, let me just put this off to the side. I think it's my Wi-Fi. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's my Wi-Fi. Hold on, let me get some stuff off of my Wi-Fi. Let me see if I can get some devices off. Because my Wi-Fi, it depends on how many devices. There we go. You know what? I'm actually going to turn that off too and just like turn everything off of my phone because I do not need to use my phone right now. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I noticed that my Wi-Fi was may or may not have been checking. The great thing is that I am recording it, so at least when I post this up on YouTube, it'll probably be very, very clean. So that's probably the best thing that we can do, right? Anyway, so I kind of already started. I was like, what do non-binary people like? And I'm like, okay, well, non-binary people don't fit within a specific gender. You know, they kind of... they are their own gender, you know, like they get to define what gender is, along with like people that are gender fluid and all of that. So I looked up, I was like, let me sketch a few things. So I sketched out an idea, and I kind of like one of the ideas where it's kind of has this idea of masculine and feminine elements to it, so that then it's like great enough, and it has a lot of sharp points, so you can do some stabby stabs. And I know one thing is that non-binary people like stabby stab stuff. So we're making stabby stab stuff. I haven't gotten onto that yet, but right now I'm just kind of blocking in and building out everything. This is gonna get shrunken in. So yeah, it's gonna have a lot of stabby stabs. So don't worry if you're concerned about it not having too many stabby stabs. Yep. See, there's one stabby stab. Everything will be stabby. You can poke people with this. I'm just trying to make it as pointed as possible. There we go. You got your one stab. And the other thing is that what I usually do too with these is I elongate them. You can put it in somebody's eye. You can stab right through their brain. That's long enough. You just gotta stab it in the eye. But what they're getting, so the non-binary people aren't getting really a wand, they're getting a staff. Which I think is better because anybody can hold a staff. Wands, I feel, are more like for girls. I don't know why. I think it's because of the magical girl genre. So a staff is way better. That's what I personally feel. A staff is definitely way better in this situation. So, why is my thing being so weird today? I don't hope the stream is going to be chunky the entire time because this no good. It's not good at all. Mod, can you text me instead if it's being chuggy? Because I can still get text on my phone at least. The magical wonders of human technologies. Next. Okay, so there's one part of this that is going to be really cool when we do it, which I can probably do it right now. Wait, hold on. It's this one. Which is that I have to create a curve. There's lots of curves that you can do in here. What? Oh. Yeah. Okay. I know that this isn't completely clean. Where does this go? Oh, I'm an idiot. This has to go here. Okay. Don't worry, this is gonna get very, very much pointed. It might be rounder now, but we're gonna make it pointed. Don't worry about it. Basically, it's gonna create a point, and it's gonna be like dude. I just want to put it along. Well, the curve is mostly there as a guide. This is a guide. This is a very, very nice guide, and it's on the wrong area. There we go. Because I want it forward facing. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh. Okay. This needs to be on the other side. There we go. Because I'm doing half this side and then going over to the other side. And the next thing that I have to create, that is going to be pretty easy. This I also have to create a curve for. Front Z. There I go. Front Z is what I want. And then we're going to create another curve. Yeah. But anyways, so I hope everyone. Why is this doing this? It was not chunky like this yesterday. But you want to know what? I played a game earlier today. I sent these messages 15 minutes ago, Lil. Yeah, I know. And you want to know how my ping currently is? Apparently my ping is currently at 5,000. Why is it 5,000? I've never seen this before. I will say I changed internet service providers, and ever since then, for some reason, if I play games on my computer, like legitimately, if I play games on my computer and then try and do streaming or like do anything else, it fucking breaks. For some reason, it always fucking breaks. I don't know why it fucking does this. I'm like half wanting to just unplug the thing and plug it back in, but at the same time, it's hot as shit. And I'm wondering if that could also be the issue. I am gonna go and turn my fan on and put ice packs around it and see if that will help cool it down. Because one problem apparently of this router is that it overheats. Hooray! And I think that's what it's doing currently. It's basically fucking overheating and basically not working. Even though it's only like 79 degrees in here. It's not that hot. It could be hotter. But no, it's like, fuck you. It's just like deciding to not be great. Like, just to be an ass. Hold on, I'm going to break my character model for a minute and turn on the fan and see if that works. Turning on the fan. Okay. I turned on my fan and we're gonna see if that helps it cool the fuck down. Which is really weird because yesterday it was over 80 degrees. It was over 80 degrees and guess what? It fucking ran perfectly. Also, last time I was streaming, also was completely perfect. Completely fine. I don't know what the fuck it's doing right now. Because the only thing I'm running is the stream, my VC face, like, everything else is fine except the fucking internet. Like, everything. Everything else is fine. Why does it do this to me? It's just like, the internet just fucking decides, nope, today is gonna be a bad day. You want to stream? I'm sorry, you're gonna have a timeout today. And that's what it has decided today. It has decided to take a fucking timeout. That is all I have to say. Just an extreme timeout. That's what it is. It's having an extreme tantrum right now. Will this fucking at least try and do something other than, you know, oh yeah, I can't even check how good my internet is unless I'm connected to the fucking internet. Okay, there's some points when I like it and some points when I fucking hate it. Today is one of those days. Cause like, this internet, I swear to the gods, is terrible. It's like as if I'm out in the middle of nowhere. That's like some days, that's what it's like. And today, that's what it's like. And I fucking hate it. Because guess what? This thing is marketed as better than Spectrum and like everything else. No, it's not. Because what it ends up doing is this. Basically, for a very long period of time, the internet will be absolute fucking garbage. And then, next day, fine. Like nothing happened. Like as if nothing happened. And I'm just like, why? Why? Why do you do this to me? Why, internet? I'm just trying to make a nice stream about making a magical staff for the non-binary fae. And what do you give me? You fucking give me trouble. And now I have to fucking look to see why it's being a fucking butt. Why do I even have to do this? This is so terrible. The thing is that it won't tell me exactly what I have to do. It'll just tell me how bad it is. Wow. It says that my connection is fine. It says that my internet connection is actually good. No, it's not. That's not what my computer says. And for anyone asking, I actually do have a cord to plug the router directly into my computer, so it's not like I'm not getting fast stream. It just decides that it's gonna be a butt today. Because it says over in the bottom right corner, if you know anything about OBS, it says it's currently going between 2000 IB/S and 5000. And it's saying it's red. Whereas every other device that I have says that the internet is fine. I love my internet. It's so great. The thing though is that every internet provider that I've ever had is shit. It's absolute fucking garbage. The only great thing about this internet is like, in price comparisons, apparently, this is the cheapest but best option. And considering my mother, we do not have a lot of money laying around. Yeah, this is the only option I have. So, you're gonna have to deal with my shitty stream. But don't worry, I will be trying to post this on our YouTube channel, because we do have a YouTube channel. So, if anything, at least you can hear me complain about my shitty internet on there. And the great thing is that I have to queue up last stream and this stream, and yeah, so, and then we'll be posting it. I'll be posting on it this week, and actually submitting so you guys can watch the streams again. And basically, it's just a VOD channel. We just put the VODs up there. So that's all it is. And yeah, so if you wanna actually watch the full thing without any lag going on, just watch the recorded video I did of the stream of me complaining about this stupid thing, because this is actually absolute fucking garbage. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna continue on like as if nothing is happening, because that's all I can do. Alright. Because if I let it control me, then I will not have a good stream. Because shit, you know what? Shit happens and there's nothing you can do about it. And sometimes you just have to fucking deal with it. So I guess if you would like to interact with me, it looks like Twitter will be the only way. Oh, that's so sad. It's kind of sad that Twitter is going to seem to be the only gateway that we have to you actually interacting with me. Which I really do hope that we do not have to do. Possibly not. I wouldn't want to do that because I feel that that's terrible. And it's just a shitty way to have a stream. There we go. There we go. That looks great. For what it needs to be. And then I keep forgetting to turn these on. I hate that that isn't on default. So the next thing, I'm kind of trying to work from the bottom up again. So that would be cool to put there. So what I'm gonna do, create a duplicate of this. Well, you know what? I'll create a duplicate of that when it's done. And then over here, I need, actually, I'm going to make this. I'm going to try and make this actually, I don't know why it's like dead set on. So this isn't going to be exactly like the last one, because I do want to make these different. I want to try and make them each wand, each staff somewhat different from everything. What? Wi-Fi is... Dude, it's not yours, it's mine. It is mine. It is 100% mine. And there's... I will say one thing. There's absolutely nothing I can do. There's literally nothing I can do. The only thing I can do is restart my entire computer. And that's like no bueno. I don't want to do that. That's stupid. I don't want to restart my entire computer. It looks like it's coming down. Nope. Now it's just, what the fuck? There is literally... Yeah. There's literally nothing I can do. Yeah. I think it's too hot, and I need to go get ice packs for it. I'm not even joking. I have to go and get ice packs for my router so it stops overheating. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I put an ice pack on top of it. No joke. It literally my router literally now has an ice pack on it, like as if it's healing from a bruise. Oh, this is so terrible. It really is quite terrible. I will say I'm like half wanting to look on my phone to see how terrible it really is. Hold on. I'm gonna turn this down to like 0 basically. Let me look on Twitch. This is gonna be really sad if it's like really, really bad. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Hold on. Hold on. And now I really have to BRB. This stream is full of issues and problems today, isn't it? But anyways, let me see. Oh my goodness, it's really bad. It's really, oh my goodness, it's super, and I'm on the phone. Okay, phone I will admit is way more chuggier, but at least you can see what I'm doing. That's the most important part. But apparently I have something to say. I will say I have something to say. I have a telehealth call from my doctor. So yeah, when that comes up, I'm probably going to have to BRB just really quickly because that's super important because it is a full screening of lab work that they did. So I definitely need to answer that call. And then I can talk to you guys about the shitty results I probably got because I was not told that I shouldn't have eaten, but I ate like a full-on meal, and then I went because I was like, I'm gonna be hungry, and he's like, oh, did you eat? And I'm like, no, yeah, I totally did, and but other than that, I've just had water. And he's like, oh, okay, so you only had water. I'm like, no, I ate breakfast. It's like, okay, what did you eat for breakfast? Just explain to this dude. I'm like, I had curry udon noodles. So I had curry left over from when I made Japanese curry. And then I had udon noodles, so I just made that for breakfast because it was like super quick, super easy. So I just made it, and then I'm like, yeah, delicious. This is breakfast, and kind of lunch. And yeah, it wasn't great because he said, oh, you probably actually shouldn't have eaten anything because we're gonna do blood work on you today. I asked, are they gonna do blood work? They said no. Then I went, and they said, yes, you are getting blood work today in order to make sure that you are healthy. And I'm just like, oh, great. Just Fantastic! Okay. I guess we're doing this now. Just fantasticness all around. Oh. So, yeah, that when I get the call, I gotta end, I'm not gonna end stream, but, because I want to, like, finish this, but, I hope it doesn't take as long as it did yesterday, but then again, I was very, very, very distracted, so we're gonna hope that I can try and finish this before 3:30, because that's apparently when it is. So we are on speed run. Speed run. The great thing is that I have more references than I did yesterday, and I'm not just going, what the fuck should I do? So at least I have more reference this time around to be able to make what I want to do. So, yeah. You know what? We're gonna leave that like that. Kind of. And then I'm gonna do a quick cheaty thing. So this can not. That was weird. It was not letting me select the edges around it, which was weird. There we go. There's a reason that there's a hole in this, and it's because you can be anybody that you want to be. Ta-da! Nice. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Now... Oh yeah. Before I forget, this needs to have some work done on it. Oh, and these stabby stab things are actually going to go all the way around it. So this is going to go here. And you might be like, why am I deciding to do this? Because I can. Because I can put as many stabs as I want around my model. Because this is supposed to exude. Okay. Oh. This is supposed to exude the idea of I can stab you whenever I want. Do I want it like this, or do I want it like... Here, let's see how this works. And put it down about here-ish. You know, because this is going to get mirrored, I might as well just delete that. I'm going to do it like this. But then I'm going to do it like this. So that then you can truly stab your enemies. Slay. Slay your enemies. That's exactly what this is. Just slay your enemies. How to slay your enemies 101. First, get a staff. Next, put a bunch of spikes on it. That's how you slay your enemies. Oh, this is on the wrong side. Whoopsies. This has to be over on this side. And put it at a 45-degree angle. Because 45-degree angles are my jam. Nice. Fantastic. That looks gnarly. That looks like it would kill you. That's the point of this, isn't it? It's supposed to look like it's supposed to kill you. Because if it doesn't look like it kills you, what's the point of it anyways? Trying to figure a way to like put a thing around this without it looking all janky, but I don't think that there is a real way. There we go. There we go. Oh my goodness, can I select the edge I actually want? And then we're gonna do this. Fantastic. You know, it just gives the illusion that it's hold on, I need to also deal with this. Ooh. There we go. You know, some things I can talk about is Luthador almost cried this morning. I don't know what was wrong with him. I was just like, what are you doing? And he was just like, I am in crisis mode, leave me alone. And I'm like, Luthador, when you're in crisis mode, that usually means one of two things. Either one, you didn't get enough cuddles last night from your husband, or two, you played a very sad game. Which one is it? And he said, I played a very sad game. And I'm like, okay, what game did you play? And he was like, Genshin Impact. I'm like, dude, what are you fucking talking about? And then he's like, Zhao almost died. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Zhao almost died? If you guys, okay, so if you haven't played through the new event, there's like a scene that happens, and I will say, like, he showed me the scene, and, you know, he showed me the YouTube recording of it, and I was like, holy shit, they really, like, upped their animation, first off. And he's like, yeah, that's cool and all, but wait till the end. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I see why you were about to cry. And he's like, yep. He said, if I lost Zhowie Boy, I would have died. And I'm like, why are you gonna cry over losing Zhao? And he said, and I quote, because he's like you, but less gremlin-like. So he was gonna be sad because he imprinted that Zhao is like me, and then he got sad about it. Which I will say, whenever he talks about like his friend stuff and like losing his friendships and all of that, he gets really super emotional. Not completely emotional, but pretty much. Pretty much emotional. He's not too much of a wreck, but at the same time, it's like, he needs some hugs. So I called his boyfriend over, and yeah, that was all sorted out. Thankfully. Because, he's him. That's all I need to say, probably. You know what? No, I'm not gonna do that. Actually, I need to do it here. Because of course I do. Protecting the edge, man. Protect the edge. That's all it is. Okay, now that that's done, I got to flip it. Perfect. There we go. And this is gonna go right here. Ooh, it like cups that perfectly. Fantastic. Nice. Nice staffs. Nice junctions, you know? Good junctions equal best things. They might be like, what do we put here? Well, take the stabbies. Make another stabby. And you put it up here instead. This is an elongated stabby. No. There we go. And this is going to actually connect to the other stab. So yeah. Kind of made this ball a little bit smaller. So it kind of fits in here perfectly. There we go. I will say it doesn't have to be practical, it just has to look cool. I will say I am subtracting practicality for it to actually just look cool. So yeah. I love subtracting practicality for coolness. There we go. There we go. I will say with this, what I might do is have it actually come out into the front, so it goes like this. That'll be nice. And then over here, just it doing an offset twist and an offset twist, I think will be nice. So like it twists kind of like this. But anyways, next, what are we up to? We're up to almost 3,000 tries on this thing. Well, kind of expected considering things. I will say there's some places that I need to delete stuff and all that, so we will be going back over and doing that. But I will say, it's coming out. It's coming out pretty well. There we go. I will be needing to add stuff here, and here, and here. Make it look like it's in conjunction with each other, but it's not really. It's just cheating. But so far it looks like a pretty neat staff. I mean, like I would be in fear if there was a person coming towards me with this. I would be afraid. I would be very afraid. Next we gotta make this part. So how do we make these parts? We're gonna do this. And we're gonna do this. And that's how we're gonna make them. This is so I can get the most precise. And there we go. Now, time to select them faces, just like we kind of did last time. And yeah, yes. Nope. Oh, the taper is going to need to be the opposite way, so we can do that, and then we can like flip it. And then I want it to kind of do a little twist. Nice. Very nice. Maybe a little bit more twist. Just to make it look interesting. And then what I'm gonna do is make a duplicate of it. turn this off. Oop, that's not the right one to turn off. Turn this one off. And then we're gonna take this. Dip it. If I can get to the right position of it. Yep. You might have needed to do this from the opposite end. Meaning, what I basically do is I have to redraw this line, but redraw it the other way. Yeah. So this cube will end up being the other way. But this cube will probably be fine. Because this I actually want it to taper down to be differently. So we'll do this, and then extrude. And then put some divisions. And taper. And then what we're gonna do, go up to this and control damn vertices. That's what I want it to do. Come out to the front here. And I want to make it look like it going around. Here we go. And then what I'm going to do is actually move the faces, because there's nothing more I can do with this. I wish I could fucking do a different way with this. But there is no other way that I can do this. There we go. About as close as I can get to what I want it to do. No. I hate it. I hate it. I absolutely freaking hate it. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. There we go. We're gonna see if that works better. I'm gonna take this off because I don't need this on. Alright. Okay, we're slowly but surely getting through. Yeah, modeling always takes like the longest. Because there's some things that you do in a sketch and then you actually put them into practice and they actually don't work and then you're like, damn it! And that's what's going on right here. That's exactly what's going on right here. Hold on, I need to... Can I zoom in just really quickly, sir? There we go. And then... Oh, that's not what I wanted. Needs to be X. Nice. And then, actually gonna do is make a little section here. Oh, that is actually pretty perfect. Ta-da! Sometimes things that you didn't plan on doing actually works. Surprisingly well. But then it looks like that's connecting to here, and this is connecting to here, and we are all good. I will make it a bit thicker so it doesn't look like it's gonna fall out at any moment. There we go. That is very, very nice. And it gives it a nice shape too, because there's like a lot of circles and then it goes into like points and smoothing into circles and then it goes into more points at the bottom and it's like, wow, there's a lot of pointy things on here. And it's like, yes, there is, sir. This is so that then when I do this, yeah. Fine. Alright. And now I gotta redo some of this stuff. I'm trying to think of like what needs to be done. Okay, you know what? I'm working from the bottom. I'm working from the bottom. Because I'm getting confused. It is very easy to confuse me. My mental defects, you know. You have them after a while, you know. There's nothing you can do. I will say what I'm gonna actually do. I'm gonna do something like this. And then do... Chat test message sent at 12:54. Yes! I got it. I got the chat message. You got it. Okay, it looks like it seems as though I am now fine. Ish. There we go. I mean, my Wi-Fi is still chuggy, but it looks like I can receive chat messages at the right time. So yes, I did get the chat message mod. Fantastic. The great thing is that I can still interact with chat pretty much. But yeah, You want to roast my shitty internet, mod? You want to roast my shitty internet? Or have I already roasted it enough myself? It doesn't need more roasts. Man, that looks pretty gnarly. Pretty gnarly. Oh, I forgot to do the damn thing again. I keep forgetting to do this. There we go. F. Yes. F in chat for my internet. A true F. Yes. My internet is graded at an F. Okay, there we go. Nice. Trying to save up on tries here. And there's actually going to be a rhyme and reason to this, because I'm actually going to kind of take this. I'm going to take this into ZBrush because I actually now have the ability to do that because of the way that I'm streaming today. So a lot of this stuff is going to be smoothed out and probably going to have some fixes to it. Okay, you know what? I'm going to need to turn this on, because this is going to be ridiculous if it's off. Okay, now I can turn it off. Yeah, the little on-off thing over here is basically a camera-based selection. So that means, like, if the camera-based selection is off, that means I can do this and select everything. But if it's on, I can only select what I can see in my camera. Which, is okay, but is not the greatest. Ooh. It's off now. This is off. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Hey mod, do you want to be stabbed by this? Just quick question. Would you like the stab of my non-binary blade? It's almost done. No, don't worry about it. It's almost done. It's almost completed, which is really great right now. That it's actually almost done. For the modeling part of it. And then I'm quickly going to bring it over into ZBrush and see what we can do with it. And I mean, quote unquote, see what we can do with it. If there's nothing that we can do with it, and enhance it more, then, yeah. I will say it probably will make the blade edge thing a little bit, but if anything, probably not. Probably won't do anything with it. But maybe try and give it some damages. We're like slowly increasing on like what we do with this stuff. But yeah. But anyways, for next time, I'm gonna try and troubleshoot the internet a little bit more and see what we can do in order to fix it. So that then I can troubleshoot it easily. Yeah. So now we gotta do the pointy point thing. So I have to basically redraw this. So this, I'm gonna move over here. That one's fine. And basically I have to now create it from the bottom. Excuse me, holy shit. Okay, now we gotta get this cube. We're gonna turn back. Oh, holy shit! I forgot to. Okay, well, guess that cube is getting deleted. And we're gonna put this right down here. And extrude. And give it a bunch of divisions. And we're going to taper. And give it a little bit of a twist. Ah, yeah. That. Here, let's move this. Ah, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. That looks amazing. It's exactly what I'm going for. For it to look ridiculously cool. I'm gonna make a duplicate of this and mirror it and see what happens. Ooh. Nice, right? Nice, nice. Nice, nice. Because it gives an era of femininity, but also like an era of like, I can beat the shit out of you with this if I want. Because, oh my goodness, this looks great. This looks amazing. This is exactly what I wanted from this. So what I'm gonna do, first off, I can take out the center. Doesn't need to be there. Okay, great. And basically what I'm gonna do, go around here and bevel this. Now this isn't supposed to be a sharp edge, so it's not supposed to be like a weapon. It's supposed to be a staff, so it's supposed to have magical energy in it. But man, I still wouldn't want to get stabbed by this. Nice. Oh, I know why. Because of this. Here we go. Oh, excuse me. Alright. There we go. I like that it has some nice shaping to it. And now, I'm going to delete this. I don't need that. Oh, you know what I haven't done at all throughout this entire time? I haven't saved the file. Never do this. Never. I got distracted by trying to fix my internet. I don't even think that this here. You know what? I'm gonna put this ice pack underneath it. Oh my goodness, my screen! Like, man. there's so many wires over here, it's kind of like, it's kind of hard to basically, oh my goodness! Nah, I hate it. I need more room. The funny thing is that I just like made my room a little bit more organized, and I still need more shit. I still need more room because there's this big tower thing that I don't need over here. I kind of like it, but at the same time I don't really need it. I can place this stuff somewhere else, but I can't take it off for some reason. Like it's glued onto the fucking desk and I can't remove it. And this is... But I do hope that you non-binary folks will end up liking this, because this is, oh my goodness. Stamp. Oh, wait. I'm gonna call it end staff. I have not saved at all. And it's been like almost an hour currently, so yeah, there's that. Do I even need to put this little thing on? I think it's already like pretty good in itself. I don't think it needs this. I thought it would. It doesn't. Now the other thing is that I kind of do want to make some of this stuff have a little bit more shape to it. So what I'm gonna do just kind of make some little nice designs on it. Just so it's not all the way flat, because flatness is a little bit of the enemy. And I kind of didn't like how my last one ended up a little bit flat. So we're gonna try and get rid of some of that flatness. There we go. And then we gotta put in the hand. Maybe. No, not the offset. But yeah. This is just to make it so it's not completely flat. And then I think what I might do is actually bring this in. There we go. It just adds more visual interest to it. So it can still be pretty, so you can still be pretty basic and add in like visual interest like this. So see, that already makes it kind of a little bit more interesting than just a basic flatness. Same thing with like over here, see how it's like all flat and stuff? Over here, I am going to make a different thing though. I'm actually gonna do this. And basically oh right, it doesn't reflect onto the other side. Well, oh, there you go. And I don't think it needs to. On the other side, I just need to do this. And See, just add slight visual interest. But nothing too flashy. Okay, I don't think I can do anything more than this. But, yeah. I will say when UVing this is gonna be a butt. These are gonna be the worst to do. And I'd be like, well, why? And it's like, because of the amount of visual interest I have put into it. Yeah, these are gonna be terrible. Because the great thing is that some of this can be reflective all the way around. What? What is going on over here? What happened over here? Aha! What is going on over here? What is happening over here? That is weird. Hey, apparently that did not get selected when I did the bevel on it, and that's why it was being a butt. Oh, and that one is selected. That does not need to be selected. Sometimes you end up with interesting ways of how it's going to be modeled. This is one of those ways. And it ends up being shitty as hell. Oh, what the hell is this? What the fuck? And then you gotta fucking undo it all because it's not working to what you want. Because of course it's not. Why did that end up getting selected? Fucking hate. You can tell how much I hate fucking putting detail on certain stuff because sometimes it just decides it wants to fuck up. Like, even selecting on things that I didn't even select for it. It just decides, nope, I'm gonna do this now. Even though that's not even what I told it to do. What the hell? Does this have a line around it? No idea how that would happen. What is this doing? Oh, I see what it's doing. What is this doing up here? Okay, there and there. And then there and there. Stop fucking up. I fucking hate this. I fucking hate this. This is how much I fucking hate putting in edge loops. Because they are annoying as all hell. They're the worst thing ever. And then you have to check it. So you have to do this and you do that. And then you have to check to make sure it hasn't fucked up anywhere. Yeah. Okay, fine, it's fine. Everything good. It's easier when it's like this compared to something like this. Excuse me. And now we get to work on the very last part of this. Oh my gosh. Which is, this ain't gonna get seen. So now we're just working on kind of deleting things that we don't need to see. Or we don't see at all. Which is probably the easiest part of this entire thing. But we are almost done, so at least with the modeling. We are almost done with the modeling phase of this. And then I'll turn this on, because of course I do, because I always have to. We'll say cylinders are the worst sometimes. And then I gotta put a thing that makes it look like it's going through here. Easier said than done sometimes. Okay. And then all I'm gonna do is just do this. There we go. And there, we're done. We're done. We're done modeling. Hooray! Everyone give a hip hip hooray. It's finally completed. I think I completed this one faster, but it was because I actually had a sketch to work off of compared to the last time. And I will say, compared to last time, this one looks way cooler. I don't think it's gonna help. But anyways, now we can start kind of deleting stuff that we don't need and combining things that can be combined together. So like this, and this. Well, technically this and this can be combined. There we go. I'm trying to figure out what can and cannot be combined. Well, the entirety of this staff portion, definitely yes, is a combined. That's the thing. So that can definitely be combined. Along with these can combine with this. Oh wait, no. Yeah, no. I'm trying to like combine things that are going to be kind of the same materials ish. You know, the rest, I think this is fine. I think the rest of this is fine. Oh wait, hold on before I forget. I think the bottom up here isn't gonna get seen. It is not. Save on tries wherever you go. But yeah, this looks cool. This looks nice. It looks very nice. I will say you might be like, what makes this kind of like non-binary in a sense? Well, these circles are supposed to represent the gender signs and how a person can pick which kind of gender they want to be. And so that's basically what it is. Okay, you know what? This entire actual thing is gonna be one piece. Okay. And then all of this is gonna be a piece. There we go. So now, and then this is so that then I deal with less pieces, and that's a good thing. So this is spiral. This is staff. This is we're just gonna call it gender. This is the what is this? Like the bar. I'm just gonna call it bar. And this is, I think it's spikes, right? Base. Spikes. Okay, cool. It's all named. Even though that won't matter when we move on into ZBrush. Yeah, none of that is gonna definitely matter when we move on into ZBrush. Okay, so let me close this up because I'm done using my sketchbook for what we need to do. Because now, from here on out, it's just whatever we want to do. So let me save this again. Okay, cool. And the first thing I want to do actually is just completely delete the history and go into mesh display, unlock normals, soften edge. Everything is super smooth. Okay, cool. So everything's now nice and smooth. For our grand pleasure, we'll say this is still a little boxy. What I'm gonna do actually, probably the only place I'm gonna do it, is kind of smooth this area out. There we go. That looks great. This looks really cool. Okay, now, do I actually need to move it into ZBrush? You know what? I don't need to move it into ZBrush. I don't actually need to move it into ZBrush. And the reason I say that is because I just genuinely kind of don't really need to send it into ZBrush. Also, if you guys are wondering on the height of this thing, I would say that this is about, you can make it as tall as you want. I mean, it is proportionally correct to what it needs to be, but it is about, at least when I was making this is about like a foot or so big. So it's kind of like elongated kind of wand. So it's like a long wand, but I mean, it's kind of a staff, but it's not a full staff. If you want a giant staff of this, I mean, you could make it bigger. Like, you could easily just take this entire thing and just go ahead and like scale it up to whatever you need. Because like, if we just do this and then just say scale, oh, that won't work. But if I combine this as tire object, then yeah, you could scale it pretty easily. So, right. So we are going to be moving in now to just doing the UVs for this. Now, I was thinking, do I want to add crystals and orbs and things like that? No, this is entirely going to be made out of metal and materials. So it's not actually going to have... Well, the spikes maybe could, and maybe here, but I think that's about it. I think maybe this area, and then the rest of this, and then some of this can be metal, but some of it doesn't have to be metal. So what I'm... Yeah... I kind of want it to be mostly metal and not, like, shiny. Well, it's gonna be shiny, but it's... You know what? Like, trying to think what I want to do. And... I have the idea in my mind that it's not supposed to have, like, gems or crystals or something like that. Because, like, I would say, like, gems and crystals, like, anybody can have, but I'm thinking more of, like, rocks and stuff. So, like, rocks. I mean, everyone loves rocks, no matter what. So this will deal more with rocks instead of crystals and gems. So it's gonna be shiny, but it's not gonna be as shiny. So we are going to export this selection as into, here, let me actually show you what we're doing. We're gonna put it over in headers. I still actually have to renew my headers thing. I have to do that. This is actually being exported out as an OBJ. Hooray! So this is new. Please. The only reason that I might bring it into ZBrush is to create like a high sculpt, but then I'm like, well, I'm not really doing much with the high sculpt though. Like, it's cool to use it for like high sculpting, but the thing is like, I'm trying to get these done as quickly as possible, and if I bring it in there and do some stuff, I might end up going down the rabbit hole of doing too much, so that's kind of why I'm leaving ZBrush out of it, because I actually spend about... it would take 2 days then to make this because of the time that I spend modeling. So like I usually spend about a day modeling, and then the other day is UVing, texturing, and all that sort of stuff. But I don't want to do that, so I want to make sure that we can do this all in one day. So we're gonna bring up Edis. You have 3 days. No, because I need to go here. We're gonna bring it over here. Going to load this up. We're going to say, I'm gonna say new because I just want to show you guys all like how UVing works, because I will say a lot of, I'm not saying all, but most people don't show much how this is done. And then go into Hedis. Just say load. Should pop. And the other thing is that I'm going to actually, because I'm going to have to bring it back in there for another thing. Also, got a new wallpaper in honor of Pokemon. That's coming out. Okay, so great, we're all good, we're all jamming. Nice, 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 nice. What? Okay, so we don't have UVs, so we have to, I'm gonna get everything away from one another so I can kind of see how this is done. Now, let me actually talk to you guys about how the process of like UVing should work and what the method is of UVing. Oh, apparently these two got together. Well, that's okay. That's actually fine. We can just separate that pretty easily. So what is UVing? Why do we do it? Why, well, I think you guys know what. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Well, you know what? I'm not bringing it into anywhere else, so I think this... No, this ain't gonna be fine. So, actually, see, this is why we make sure that we have this one up in case of issues. First off, these two do not need to be together. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. And then looks like these. I forgot to bevel the edges. Oh. Telling me to get back to work. I am. I'm modeling. I'm creating stuff. Hold on. Okay. So that's that. And then... and then the bevel. Fantastic. Great. Awesome. See, this is why you check things. Because the great thing is that it actually allows me to check things in there, so. So we delete history again. Save it. File. Export selection. And we are going to actually export it as the same file, so. And it's okay to do that. Now we load. We just load up the same one. Fantastic. Yeah, but we UV for a few reasons, you know, getting the texturing done, all that sort of stuff. The cool thing is that the history of UVing is very cool, because it used to be that everything was all text-based games, so you never had any visuals, so we didn't need to worry about texture maps and all that sort of stuff. Wait a minute. Oh, god damn it. God fucking damn it. I forgot to do it on the bottom, too. Oh, that's not what I wanted to open. Do what I say. Don't follow what I do. Well, the other thing is that it's always great to just fucking check. There we go. Yeah. This is also why sometimes I leave it open, because then I find things that I forgot to do, and then I can just easily go back, do it really quickly, and then, yeah. That's why I personally have it open. Just so that I can easily do that. You know what? I'm just gonna do the things that I... Nope, come here. There we go. But yeah, so the history of UVs and the creation of them. So, a long time ago, when doing stuff... Come on. What? You too small? You too small? Wait, what the hell? I love when it does this, where it's like, oh wait, we want to do this, but we don't actually want to do this. Because the camera cuts it off. And I'm like, why? Why? There we go. So anyways, so the first time that we actually got the idea of texture maps is, I don't know if you guys remember the game Wolfenstein, but Wolfenstein was actually the first game that invented the idea of texture maps. Well, not extreme texture maps, but at least the starting of what we now know as texture maps today. Because it was all flat. Everything was flat. Everything used to be flat, but then we got the idea of actual texture maps where were basically, you know, texture maps in the beta we had the evolution of game art. I'm really thinking out on ideas to talk about. The idea of game art and where it originally came from is pretty interesting, and the history behind it is really interesting as well. Not the history of games, the history of creation of game art, so like the art within games. So what we know of texturing today was started by Wolfenstein, but there was art before that, and it was called, you know, everyone's like, oh yeah, the retro games. No. Before retro games, like way before like what we have the idea of what retro gaming is. So before the idea of real retro gaming, there were of course vector-based games, basically drawn with vectors and vector lines, and that was like the first like cool thing, you know, vector-based line. You can actually like move around, and then then everything would like match based on your perspective. So that was like vector-based drawing, and then and vector lines and all of that. But basically, no matter how big or far away that you got from something, it would always be the same, and it was cool. Look up old vector line stuff. It was the idea of 3D before 3D was actually fucking invented, or like 3D art was fucking invented. But everything was always dots and lines for a very long time, just dots and lines on a screen, until Wolfenstein actually created it, where you had these 2D texture maps, but because of the way that it was drawn, it looked like 3D, so it gave more of the illusion of 3D, and that's where that came from. Whereas dynamic lighting? Oh yeah, dynamic lighting in games was actually originated from a game that you probably, either one you have heard of, well, almost everyone has heard of it, but you didn't think that it came from there. So if any of you remember, there were games that came out from trying to think the word, for 007. So there's games that came out for 007, for Agent 007, and it was called, what was it called? GoldenEye? 007 GoldenEye or something like that. But anyways, this game gave us the first idea of how lighting systems can work within games. So it gave people the creative freedom to actually do lighting system, like a full-on lighting system, and using interesting lighting to create an atmosphere. Because other than that, it was just all bright, all white lights. There was no real substance, no real greatness behind it. But now it's like, now we're starting to get into like the nitty gritty of how these games were created. But yeah, there's so many cool things that you can learn about the history of game art. I had to learn it. I actually had to take a class that was the history of game. Not even joking. There was a class called the history of game, and I had to take it for my degree, and it was very interesting. Okay. Now, here's the funny part. For that class, in the history of games class, we had to write a research paper at the end of it, at the end of the class. You want to know what my research paper was about? It was about the computer mouse. I had a class about the history of games. I could have written my piece about anything. I chose the funniest thing, which was the dumbest, like literally I put it in there as a proposal just like for shits and giggles, and he kind of was interested into it, and it got me interested into it. So I actually started researching it, and basically the entire piece was like talking about how eventually in the future we will no longer need the ability of a mouse, and that currently today we kind of also don't need it because of how some things are. So like VR games technically you don't need a mouse, even though that you have your controllers. Well, eventually AR games, with some AR games, you don't need mouses to play them, of course. So it's like, it deals with that sort of situation, but it's also dealing with like in our everyday lives when we're using mouses. Like, will eventually PC games become something where you don't need a mouse in order to play it? Like, you can just either play it with all shortcuts and keys and all that sort of sense, or will we just never need the idea of the mouse ever again? Like, will the mouse become extinct? Basically, it was a whole entire Photoshop piece about the death of the mouse. It's not Disney mouse. Our mouse. The computer mouse that we use every single day. Now, of course, there's plenty of old games that are probably going to need to still be on the mouse. They're going to need a mouse to have. So it's kind of like a half and half. We don't really know if the mouse will become an extinct thing in the future, or if it will actually stay around for way longer than we assume that it might stay around for. So we genuinely have no idea, and oh, hello, my dog has joined us today. Hello, Leakins. Hold on, I'm gonna grab her. There we go. Okay. And she's up on her spot. Here you go. I made sure that your spot was here. Here's an ice pack that you can have. No, if you come over onto me, then you're gonna break my face tracking and it's gonna be no good. But yeah, so the history of games. History of games, very interesting and very boring at the same time. I had to learn it all. But hey, you know, that's how life is. I hope that you found this little thing interesting. Did you find it interesting, Mod? It's probably the most stupidest thing that you've heard, but I am slowly and surely, just slowly and creepily just fading away. But I will say, I think this will be the first time. I gotta plan my models out a lot more because I think that it will help. Also, I'm gonna just like try and place everything over here by hand instead of actually saying to pack it. Because I think it will be easier than trying to pack it. Because then I can be able to use all the space around me. Oh, maybe. Okay. I don't know what these go to. Okay, there's no. Okay, this. Alright, I don't know why this is saying that it can't connect to anything. That's weird. Or maybe it can, it's just not. Where is this piece? Ah, here it is. That's why. That's why I couldn't do it. Yeah, so for anyone that might want to use this program, UV Layout, it's really good. It's just for UVs. You have to make sure that everything is unwrapped before you start trying to weld things together, or else it will just not work. Also, some of these UVs are really, really super tiny. The great thing is that you can really zoom in to make sure that you're getting everything. Okay, where are these gonna go? Oh, okay, these go up here. That makes sense. There's this one that I think I know where it goes to. I will say with some of these smaller pieces, I will say when you have like a lot of pieces and you have really tiny things, there's a chance you're probably not gonna know where that goes. Like a big chance that you're not gonna know where that goes at all. No matter if you do actually know or not. Okay, so these are the spheres. So this is all the spheres up here. These are the base stuff at the bottom. I'm gonna actually put this like this. Okay. And then we just have these two things. Okay. Well, this I'm definitely gonna divide in half. Because this don't all need to be together. And because this twisted, it's a little... Oh wait, I don't... Hold on. Okay. so this just needs to be like that. And then like that. I think that should work. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, this is twisting. I was like, wait, where is this twist into? It's twist into over here. And then I'm gonna kind of copy it on the other side. And then... there we go. That should be fine, because that is square. Now, this is going to be the one that's the problem child. There is a reason I call these the problem children. Because they are not great. Because this is gonna unwrap really weirdly. See, there's a reason that I'm trying to orient these. Okay, there we go. Oh, I see what it's doing. Here, let's see. See if we just do this. Sometimes it can unwrap better this way than actually doing it the other way. The other way being that of... Here, you know what? We're gonna lay them like this, actually. So that everything kind of lays like this. And sometimes it's just easier to do this instead. Okay. We're gonna see what we can do with this. Oh, this actually didn't unwrap that badly. I thought it was gonna be worse. Like, way worse than this. Aha. No, do. So apparently if I do this, these two should get connected together. There we go. Might as well have it be one piece anyways. And then these we're gonna put over here. And then these we're gonna put over here. We're gonna see if packing this all in 4K is gonna be fine. If it'll just like, or it'll just do that. Of course it will. It always does. Try to make sure everything kind of takes up some sort of space somewhere. At least everything's being utilized. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now we just have to save this. What? What, puppy? Yay. It's all saved. Okay, cool. Yay. Done. Done all that stuff. And now we open it up back in here. I'm going to turn this off. And then we're going to go and we're going to import it. Because that's what we have to do. Do. Import. Ta-da! Now then, one thing, if you're going to be baking or doing like any sort of baking at all, because we don't have a high sculpt or anything like that, I'm not going to do what I did last time. If I did have a high sculpt, so if I did do a high sculpt, which eventually later down the line I will be working on more of in-depth, more models that we're going to be doing that with, then I might bake it like how I did last time. But because we're not doing that, we're just going to go straight on ahead and go into the texturing phase. And in the texturing phase, we can bake it out and all of that sort of stuff. And I'm going to exit out of basically all of these programs because I don't really need them anymore. But first things first, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to basically have each one of these have their own texture map. Now, because you might be like, oh, but didn't you have like 2 texture maps or like 2 UV maps for the other one? Yes. So quick discussion about UV maps. One thing, if you're using glass, immersive means that it glows. If you're using anything like that, it has to be on a different UV map. If you're not using any of that, then you can have it on one map. Also, anything that is 10 foot or bigger usually will have 2 UV maps, meaning that you will separate it into 2 different UV maps. But because this staff is not bigger than 10 feet, it can stay on one UV map. But if I was making a staff that was like if I was making like a staff for a giant, that would probably have to be like 2 UV maps. Like this top portion might have its own UV set, and then the bottom portion would have its other UV set. With a car vehicle that I did, that ended up having 4 UV sets. I'll probably show you guys that later. But I had to do that for a thesis project, and that ended up with 4 UV sets, or 4 UV maps. The reason that I ended up with 4 is because the outside, the inside, the engine had its own as well, and the glass had its own. So that's why I had 4. So I had 4 different ones. It all came out really great because I had separated them up like that. Because texel density is a thing. Texel density is basically the amount of pixels or textural density of the texture. So yeah, you can look it up. I forget what the definition of it is, but yeah. So first things first. I would say that basically all of this. Or you know what? I'm gonna separate it up on like silver and gold, or like 2 different metals. Or you know what? I might just have it be on one. Oh well, that's gonna end up being like a problem, I think. Yeah, let's separate this. So this and this are probably gonna be somewhat. No, because I want this to pop out, I want this to pop out, and I want this to pop out. So I would say all of these pieces are going to have their own separate stuff. So, nope, the wrong thing. I'm trying to assign new. Okay, Lambert. So this is going to be spiral. So I'm basically naming it what it is. And then assign new material. You can call it gem. This whole naming also is very helpful in case you're like passing it off to another person. So the thing is about modeling and stuff, when you're doing modeling, is that there's a likely possibility that you might just be modeling something, but then you're going to pass it off to someone else who's going to do the UVs, and then you might pass it off to someone else who's going to do the texturing. So there's different people that it might end up being passed off to. So that means that you might not just be working on one model, do all the stuff, and then pass it on, but you might be working on doing like several models for different things. So you might be doing texturing on this model, UVing on this model, actually creating the model. So there's different things depending on, like, there's actually a job just for people that do texturing. So if you just want to do textures, there's a job for that. You can actually get a job in just doing textures. But with that, you have to like have a really great knowledge of how to do realistic textures and how to change certain things. Like it's way more in depth than just like, oh, I'm gonna just paint every day. No, it's way more in depth than that. Like super more in depth. Okay. Oh, spikes. This is the last one. Hopefully. Oh. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now we're done. So we're gonna take this now, because everything here is... The other thing is that you never want any of the texturing to be on Lambert 1. You never want that. Like, at all. Like, that's not how things are supposed to work. You never want it on that. So you never want the staff to, or you never want any of the textures on Lambert 1. You always want it on like a different Lambert. So you want it to be assigned somewhere. So now because that is done, we're going to be opening up. Okay, so this, we can exit out of this. Yes, we can exit out. And the reason that we can exit out of that is because we don't need it anymore. So we're going to also exit out of Maya as well, because we do not need Maya. I'm just going to load up Substance. So yeah. But hey, we're probably going to be done early with this, because I had an idea of what I would actually do. So I didn't have to like troubleshoot everything like I did last stream. And the other thing is that I'm not as distracted. Yeah, we're just exiting out of Maya, actually. We just completed this this model in Maya. So, where's my substance? Okay. Yes, it is Maya. We just completed finishing this model in there. And we're now moving on to using Substance. But hey, what is this? Pseudo Kid. Hello, nice to meet you, Pseudo Kid. I'm a 3D prop artist. This is what I do. This is my job, and I am art. Hello, nice to meet you. That's how I greet myself. We've been talking about the history of games and a lot of other stuff with 3D art. That's my degree. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Let me just exit out of here, because if the more things that we have, the more times that it's going to be a little bit weird. But yes, it is Maya. Thank you. Industry standard stuff. Always. And now we're going to open up a new file. We're going to make sure it's 4K for those great textures. And then, because I only have one UV map, I don't need to actually do this little thing for UV controls, so I don't need to do that. And then I'm just gonna go and select what I need. Doo-doo-doo. Also, the great thing about Substance now is that you don't have to bring it in with OBJ. You can also bring it in with an FBX, which is basically a game-ready model. So, alright. Technically, this is ready. Game-ready-ish. But yeah. Okay, now it's in here. We got all our shaders and stuff. We're all good. Okay. Now we gotta get my color references, because I need to go and get those. But, I'm trying to think. What do I need? Oh, right. I gotta do some baking. So I don't have a high sculpt, but even if we don't have a high sculpt, we still have to bake it. So there's still that. We don't need this. We don't really need that. We don't need position. We don't need thickness. It's always normal, ambient inclusion, and curvature. Those are the base defaults that you always need. Bake such maps. And now we sit and wait as it bakes. Because it does need to take its time. But yeah, this is baking in Substance. I have had to bake in Substance before with using a high sculpt, and sometimes it was really laggy, and sometimes it was just fine. So it really does depend on what you have and what you're doing. Oh my goodness, it becoming janky, but that's because of ambient. Ambient always takes the most out of my computer. But it takes the most out of every computer. Almost every computer that I've done this on chugs. Ambient. But yeah, now it's just playing the waiting game. So, how's everyone doing today? Having a great Monday? Because my stuff isn't, because my commands are not working, unfortunately, we cannot do a raid when I am done. So, that's the unfortunate part. But eventually, probably on Wednesday, we will be able to raid, so don't worry about that. Also, Luthador said that he's going to be actually playing a game instead of doing what he was going to plan to do. So that's great. Oh my goodness, my computer. Me computer? Do you not compute? Okay, there we go. When it's doing normals, it's fine. Normal and curvature, I can do that. Ambient, no. Give me a... The computer just goes, no. Come on. Yay. Okay, we're done. We're done. Yeah. That's to add some nice, like, you know, shading around so that it has some... So basically without it, we probably wouldn't, it would look less 3D-ish. Anyways, so I mostly kind of want to make this metal and rocks. So for the bar, we're gonna play around with different like hues and stuff. So there. For this, gonna make it. Oh, you know what I'm doing? I'm not putting on. I'm putting on just materials and not smart materials. Okay. So these are the spikes at the bottom, right? Yes, they are. Okay, trying to... I'm trying to like get the color palette together as well. The spiral, I'm also gonna actually make gold, so it pops out a lot. And then the main staff is what? Well, I gotta open up. Because it's alright. Okay, so we actually got a nice good amount of colors to actually play around with that actually look good. No. I think in metal we can get something. No, that one doesn't work. This one might work. Okay, cool. Alright, that does work. And then what I'm gonna do is get that stylized one. Where is it? Here we go. Stylized base. And put it up here. Because we're gonna do something with that. So I don't know why, but it kind of looks like a staff out of like Yu-Gi-Oh or something. It looks like something Dark Magician would just pull out of it. Would just pull out, and it's like, oh, cool. What I am gonna do, I'm going to put this here. And then I'm gonna do this here as well. And then for the bar, I actually have a metal that I can use that I like, and it's this one. And there's a reason I like it. Okay, great. And this one I'm actually going to copy and put on the staff as well. Ooh. There we go. Okay. So you're gonna see what we're gonna do with all this eventually. So we're gonna go from the bar. I usually try and go from. Okay, I gotta take a quick BRB because yeah, a quick one. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. I just need to take care of something really quick. The other thing too is I have to rearrange some stuff. Hold on. Because I'm going to be drawing now, I need to rearrange my screen. And the great thing is that I don't have to do the BRB right like I did last time. I can just do this. Okay, great. And now I got all my stuff set up. So brilliant. Okay. Ooh, okay, so first things first. We're gonna make this nope. Basic parameters. We are gonna make this brighter. And give it a slight hue shift. The more the warmer colors. Great. And then I usually hate the baked lighting on this thing. This color is going to actually be different because there we go. There we go. Okay, we're starting from the bar. So what are we gonna do with bar? We are going to decrease the wear on it. And then we're going to add a paint. So adding the paint allows us to actually go in here with a brush and start doing some other stuff. I always kind of use like a very rough brush to do this with. Just to kind of get rid of some of it. Because this is gonna mess with some stuff. Just gonna help us lay out where we're gonna probably be putting some highlighting and shading, because this is gonna actually be not as rough. So it's gonna be a little flatter. Like, it's still gonna have that shine, but it's gonna be a little bit flatter because we're gonna hue shift some of this stuff. So first off, we're going to take that off. We're going to make this slightly shinier. This is going to be a highlight that we're going to add over it. And the highlight is actually also going to be a different color. I'm going to grab it. Highlight is going to be that. And we're gonna have it be a soft light. So that brush for this. Sometimes you need some different brushes to do different things. Actually, I think this brush will be fine. Oh, and also I kind of want to turn on symmetry. And then I'm gonna go in with a smudge. Kind of just smudge out. I will say that the smudge inside of Substance is really terrible. It's like the worst thing ever, and I hate it. But it's all I can do. And then I'm gonna add a fill. You don't really need normal on it. Actually, I do need roughness. No, this needs to be 0. I don't know what I'm doing. But it needs to have basically little to no roughness. And roughness is basically how shiny it is. So if you ever want to know why we say needs no roughness, you might be, oh, like a rough material. It's like, no, it's how shiny it is. So yeah, I don't know why it's named rough when that's not even really remotely what it is. Like, it's not the roughness. It's I'm just also gonna really have no, because this is like the AO basically. I'm like replicating AO, which is ambient occlusion. So I'm trying to replicate that with painting. And multiply it, and then we add a black mask. Oh, this isn't in the right place. Okay, we can always just hand paint it in like this. Okay. I'm trying to like paint only by using basically the colors, so I can only. It might be like, what are we exactly using? What color palette are you using? I'm using the non-binary flag color palette, so yeah, I'm only gonna be subjected to using that, so I can only really use that as my area of painting. But yeah, I can only use that, and that's all I can use. So I'm trying to make it at least look like, you know, and then back at that, and try and put this around the bottom. There you go. So it has some shininess on it. Nice. I'm also trying not to use white because I will say white unfortunately cannot be used in this situation. Well, I guess white is only the very reflective light that we can use, that I can use. But yeah. Alright, there we go. So, we got that done. Now, moving on to the middle piece. So, the other cool thing that you can do in here is just basically hide everything, which is really great for when you need it. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do with this, actually make it my highlighting stuff. Oh, this is on smudge. What I basically kind of want to do is go around and kind of make this look like as though it is. I will say that this probably turned out a little bit more realistic painting than it did like stylized. But hey, you know what? Sometimes that happens, you know? I'm trying to make it stylized and it's just not ending up that way. And then what I'm gonna do, actually put this being a cool boy. Oh, there we go. That actually does make it look stylized now. There we go. Let's see how this looks with everything else. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that makes it pop. Oh yeah. Nice. I will say there's something that I do want to do, which is I'm going to use this as a highlight. But then this. And I kind of use to give like the dark harsh shadows, basically. And then at other certain places it'll look like nice. See, sometimes you just gotta hand hand paint that shading in. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. Oh, I guess that's not gonna do what I want. Okay, there. And go over to here now. And just add in that highlight. And the other thing that I need to do actually make it shiny. And you might be like, why am I using yellow? It's because it's going to make it pop a lot more if you use different colors to basically highlight things. It's going to make it have more contrast to it. There you go. Oh my goodness, my internet is finally actually being good for some reason right now. Wow. It took some hours for it to finally actually be good. Now it's not chugging anymore. Hooray! Mod, you can finally interact with me and actually— oh wait, it's now going back down. Well, it's in the better range now. Which is probably good. Hooray! Okay. There's that. Now it's time for the spikes. Spiky spikes. The great thing about the spikes is that I actually do need purple. The entirety of the non-binary flag is actually very, very helpful. I don't think it understands how helpful it is being in these moments. I need to add it to be a multiply. Yeah, there. And then we put this down here. And then we do this. Just to blur the edges out a little bit. So it kind of looks a little bit more like metal. Fantastic. I haven't saved the project. No. There we go. Just going around, just adding little details here and there. And then there. And we're going to add another thing on top of this. Sometimes you have to add different colors. And there we go. Oh, I'm using the smudge. We're gonna make this very shiny, but then make this not as shiny. So that then, when I do and then we're gonna use the smudge again and smudge it up. I'm just blurring it. Nice. Basically, we're going to just do the exact same thing that we did here and do it up there. But what we're going to do instead, for the spiral, we're actually just going to copy and paste this. Because we know what worked down there, and we basically just change it up here. And we're going to do clear mask and clear mask. So it's not working under the same mask properties. And here we go. If I paint anywhere, there's not going to be any shine. Kind of see that with how some of this is. Nope, don't need that. I will say that the material itself can help kind of where to guide for where you might want to put some of these shades, shadowing and shading is. I just realized that this kind of looks like the Bident from the Hades game. Or like one of the spears. It kind of looks like that. Well, you know what? Sometimes things look similar. And then you just kind of blur the edge. all you can do. Yeah. And there we go. That's that done. Not what I wanted to do. I kind of want to... There we go. I wanted it to look brighter, so it actually pops out. And there you go. It pops out a lot. And now to work on the last thing, the staff. There we go. This I'm going to make slightly darker. And then I'm going to get rid of the wear. I don't need that. This is going to be something extra I'm going to add on. So this, get rid of that. But it's going to be most highlighted. Oh. It'll be very shiny. And this, there we go. And add. And then this one. And what is going to be the darkest purple I can find. There we go. Wait. Keep using the smudge. Let's see, I think this will be fine. Yes, it will. And then just go around and just hit all the areas where I know for a fact there probably will not be much light coming from there. Might be like, how can I see what I'm doing? I can't. I actually genuinely can't. Everything with these dark purples and everything looks exactly the same. So I cannot truly see what I'm doing. But I know that it should be right-ish. You might be thinking, what am I doing on the sides? I'm doing the darkest point, the shadow underneath. So this is supposed to be the darkest point of where things are. I'm basically gonna do it all the way kind of down. There we go. And the most highlighted point would, of course, be the front here. And this, what is this? Okay. There we go. And then, again, go in with the smudgies. Smudge always helps. The smudge here is more of to blur out the edges. And to give it a nice, more paintered look. And sometimes different things work differently. No, overlay ain't gonna work. Sometimes different things work differently. I'm trying to like think of how I can make this better. And I think that this is just too dark. want this to only be for the really, really highlighted parts. I know what I didn't do. Forgot to... I really kind of add some more texture. And like, can I change some stuff on here? You know what? I'm gonna add a... I know that there's different things I can add. Where is it? No, I don't want to make this thing darker. Yeah, I know. Lag is gone. My lag is gone. For the most part. It finally, like, I guess, decided that it didn't want to lag anymore. So, it's no laggies. I know what I'm gonna do. I'll make this, like purple. Deeper purple. There we go. Okay, that's what it was missing. It was missing color. It needed more color. There we go. I was like, this doesn't look right. There you go. Sometimes you just gotta add some color. But yeah, lag be gone. Lag no more. Oh, there's a hawk pop? Man, I'm so like dead tired. I know that this stream is kind of dead. But hey, you know what? It's fine. I can still pop and stuff to a dead stream. There you go. Nice. You know what I kind of want to do? I want to go back up to here. skinny one? Oh my gosh. The gods be blessing us today. Alright. I think we're pretty much done. I think this is pretty much done. Hooray! Wow! And we actually finished by 3, which is great because I actually probably will have to take a call in about 30 minutes. But yeah, so for you non-binary folks out there, here is your magical staff. You can either, 1, slay your enemies by stabbing them, or use magical power energy. Looks like a musical. Yes! You know what? It kind of does look like a musical note. But hey, you know what? Most non-binary people did what? That's right, theater. So if anything, it fits. So... magical stab. Yes! This is called... I don't know what I'm gonna call it. I'll think of a name later, but I will be posting this up later on my Instagram and everything. I will have like a full render stuff, so I'm gonna be moving this over into Marmoset so that then it can be all rendered out. But for right now, I mean, pretty damn cool. When I bring it into Marmoset, it'll probably look a little bit better because in here it kind of looks really dark, but sometimes when I bring it over into Marmoset, it's a little bit lighter. So that'll be the good thing, is that Marmoset will actually help balance this all out and make it brighter. So yeah, that's a great thing. And yeah, so we're basically done. Here is the non-binary staff that I told you guys that I would make today, and I made it all in one stream. Which is great, because that's the purpose of these things, is to, 1, make it better for me to model faster, and 2, to make low poly models, and 3, for me to actually make models in a day. Like, this is a super big challenge for me to do, and I made another model. So that is 1 more model down on what we have. You know what? I might actually eventually, if people really start liking this stuff and I gain more of a following, I might actually do a poll on my Twitter to see what people want to see next, like, because I think that would be a good idea. But right now, here you go, all you non-binary folks. It was very hard, but I made it through, and I did it, and I like how it turned out. Could it be better? Yes, models can always be better, and the thing is that in the future, I might revisit these at some point and actually spend a lot more time being able to do it. But for a model that's done in a day, remember my commands do not work. Commands no workies. Command no worky. I will talk with you after mod in order to try and get that set up. And the other thing is I have to do a few other things, like I have to renew my UV license so that then we can be able to continue doing the UV stuff. So yeah, but thank you all for watching. Thank you so much. This has been a really great stream, and well, still I need to set up some other stuff. Like, I don't feel comfortable raiding right now anyways, so I'm pretty tired. This is probably the most tiring thing I've done all day. So I kind of don't want to raid and have... I don't have the energy. I do not have the energy to raid today. Probably on Wednesday, we'll have the energy, and Luthador will do a raid. But yeah, so thank you all so much for watching, and I shall see you on Friday with another model, which I will be sketching up ideas for. So thank you all for watching, and I shall see you on Friday. Goodbye.